Alrighty, we are live. Time to continue with the Ken Hovind whacking a creaky blind man. Oh, excuse me, I didn't say it right. I pronounced the name properly. Creaky blinder. Um, which we do have something cool that went on, and I noticed this while I was at work that the upload happened to have been made, but didn't get to watch it till I got home. Creaky uploaded his own response to at least the first half of Kent. Going through his stuff in his first video on Creaky because yeah, he's done two. And actually, if you count last night, technically kind of three. Creaky did his response to Kent's response to Creaky responding to Kent and on Adam Savage and all that. It's a total Inception thing. Um, he was made aware of it actually because I did my first part video. So I'm kind of responsible for Creaky making this video. I mean, it would have happened anyway, but it happened sooner because he was made aware because I happen to have done my stream on it. So yeah, I decided to you know do this as a follow up because I was planning on it anyway, but I just thought it was really neat when it happened. Yeah, my day at work was all right. It was a normal day. Um, I'm feeling a little rough, but that's because it's been freezing down here. Not that that's anything that Soot wouldn't be familiar with, but it's uncommon for Memphis to be below freezing. Um, so I'd left a comment or two, actually like four, in the form of replies and a couple of main ones on the Creaky video because he mentions me, and it's so cool. Like the moment it starts, it's like he sees me. It's like okay, cool. And I'm a little bummed because YouTube is like eating the comments, or some filter is being triggered out of nowhere, and it's actually freaking depressing because this happens with a few like bigger creators in this sphere. They don't see my comments. No one sees them. They like disappear. So I don't know if I've just accidentally got myself flagged into some kind of black hole on just what happens to be every creator in this sphere's systems or what. And like with the Creaky video, some of them are there, some of them aren't. One seemed to disappear, then a second seemed to disappear, but it's still in my comment history. But one of them just straight gone. So, oh no, it's weird. It's annoying. That's not how YouTube's supposed to work. But I swear this whole website is held together by spaghetti code that predates 9/11. And I know YouTube didn't come about till 2004, 2005. That's the joke. The code is absolutely potentially ancient, and Google's not going to pay anybody to maintain it properly. And it's all broken to crap because of the Google Plus integration. But that's neither here nor there. That suffices for a preamble. I just, it is cool that I get noticed. I mean, it's absolutely amazing that I would end up getting noticed by both Simon Dan and Creaky Blinder. Um, but it also sucks that it seems like even having directly interacted like with Simon Dan, it's still like my comments. YouTube just eats them. It's like he can't see that I'm just like part of the crew being like, hey, good job. No one else gets my quips and stuff. It's annoying, when I actually want to socialize and I can't. But there's other ways, and I mean I know I could reach out to these guys directly. It's just one of those things. It's like I don't feel it's my place to. What are we going to talk about, Kent? Okay, I'm not exactly the kind of guy that they would want to collaborate with. I do a different style of stuff. So, but I'm just sharing what I think to you guys, the audience, because y'all are awesome. Um, but yeah, we are going to get to this one, which I had to go to Facebook to find. So here's the score. Last night, I hung out in Kent's live stream on Rumble. I created a Rumble account under a pseudonym that just works. So I'm just in there playing the character of someone who follows Kent. Not causing too much trouble, but just being there. And so at a point, someone's like, Kent, you didn't stream yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't see it either. And someone's like, oh, well, it went to Facebook. And I'm like, oh, it just didn't go to Rumble. And yeah, it went to Facebook. So part two, the Wednesday Whacking Atheist, part two of Creaky Blind Man, wound up on Facebook. And there are other stuff, but I'm not going to X. I have an account left there as a dummy, as a placeholder for my username, and that's it. you know. So this is where we're gonna be. We're gonna be here on Facebook with the Hovind and the Wacka Hovind. Luckily, when you full screen, the experience is about the same. Let me get a few more of your comments in before we start. Creepy ass earrings, therefore he's wrong, Hovind. Exactly. Leg bones connected to the Hovind. Freeze makes you appreciate even the light warmth. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been happy for it to be kind of warm at work, because it's always a little hot in there, and it was actually pleasant. And let's see, Shunk says, I think you said your name was Nick, right? I'm trying to remember. Sorry that happened. I appreciate you. Was watching recent videos on my way home from work, was having a blast listening. Thank you. I appreciate that a ton. I'm glad, I make stuff that people can actually just listen to and enjoy. And that's why I do it, the long form stuff, where you can just set it playing, go to something, and just, work on something for an hour, come back, and there you go. And yes, good day to you, my friend. All right. Yeah, let's get to this. Sorry. Something must have triggered allergies is what hit me right before I started streaming, because now I can feel my sinuses getting a little ugh. I'll be okay. Let's power through this, baby. That's just part two of Hovind whacking Creaky Blind Man, because Hovind's a inconsiderate prick. Let's do this.
Good evening, folks. Kent Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in lovely Lenox, Alabama. It is February the 19th, 2025. You know what happened on today? February 19th, anniversary of, I don't know either. Something must happen. Okay. Tonight we're going to be part two, Hovind watching Creepy, watching Hovind, watching Adam Sandler from Mythbusters. Let's see.
He said Adam Sandler again. That's just great. Hey, no, we don't want closed captioning. Go away. Off. He said Adam Sandler again, and don't worry, you didn't miss anything. You missed nothing. Kent is dressed up for a trip to the fabulous parts of San Francisco. All he needs is a matching scarf. Kent will never be that fabulous. There is no way. This man has no style, no charisma, no nothing. And Claude, yes, heard you last night while I was in there. Yeah, you made 3 words. Your voice has a particular tone to it, kind of like mine, that's very distinctive. So I'm amazed they were able to pick up on it, though, because Kent usually can't remember voices too well. So I was like, oh snap, it's Claude, to the friends in Discord. And then they're like, oh, I immediately kicked you off and then had to talk their crap. So good try, Claude. Keep it up. Keep on trying to get in there. We got Laura sneaking in at work. Found a cool Chumbawamba song today called "The Day the Nazis Died." I highly recommend. I'll have to check that out, because of course all I know from Chumbawamba is tub thumping. Tub thumping. Ugh, I can't speak. Even if I disagree with the creation evolution part, the way Kent is so disrespectful, and so many creationists do, they open themselves full court to your comments. I don't get offended. I really do appreciate that, because I do feel bad sometimes with how almost vitriolic I can be to religious constructs. But then again, it's this construct I'm fighting against, not necessarily yours, even if all the terms and characters are the same. It's funny. Sometimes it reminds me of a thumb, but from Miami. Cloud should come in as Achilles. Oh man, I'm never gonna get anywhere. That's an insult to thumbs. Never gonna get anywhere if I just read the chat. God, love you guys. Except you, Hovind, you suck. And the Facebook video player really sucks, because in case you're slightly late, this stream only went out to like Facebook and other stuff, wasn't on Rumble. So we're getting fresh content here, ladies and germs.
Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, X, let's see, our app, kenthovind.tv. Get all these things, iOS and Apple. You can get them all on our website, drdino.com. Okay. Caution, liberals, Democrats, camel hair voters, do not watch this video. You will get upset. You won't be able to sleep. So,
You know, I should get a small slideshow prepared of pictures of my pet rats that I've had through the years, just to show how cute they are as a counter to his little demo rats garbage here. In case you didn't know it's coming, we're reaching peak boomer. Kent has decided to work this little thing into his stupid intro, so we're going to be here a minute with the maximum boomer cringe.
let's see. I'm not sorry about my patriotism if it offends you, because your lack of spine offends me. If I offend you, cry me a river, thou bring snacks and a raft, literally float down the river of your tears. I would like to apologize.
Oh no, Billy, I'm talking about the 19th stream, not last night's stream. This was the Wednesday stream that didn't make it. Excuse me, to Rumble.
To anyone I've not offended. Be patient. I'll get to you shortly. I got to get a shirt like that, brother. If I offend you, I'm really sorry. I will tone it down. Number 1 and 2 are lies. I don't care. Perfect. Okay.
And, you know, it's kind of interesting that Kent would post this kind of boomer, right-wing, live, laugh, love garbage, because he does seem to take offense to the idea that someone like me would be offensive. As an example, his constant language policing with flowery use of profanity. You know, he seems to want to be the arbiter of how the F word can be used. And, you know, I'm just seeing if I can kind of be good and not drop 25 F-bombs a minute this time around, because I just don't have the energy. We're going to see what happens, though, because last night, when we get to last night's stream, that's going to be something, because it's completely unhinged. But this one, we don't know where it's going to go, so let's take a step back and just enjoy until I have the reason to get pissed.
Sorry if I offended you with my common sense. Here we are, February 19th, Wednesday. Whack and Atheist Wednesday. Let's see, we're at Genesis Baptist Church, old-fashioned, independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist Church in Lenox, Alabama. And Trump is going to solve all the world problems. Praise God, he's doing a good job, I think. And
yes, renaming the Gulf of Mexico, getting rid of the penny. These are all seriously pressing issues that the president needs to be focusing on. What is this clown show that you nut jobs think is something great? I had forgotten how ridiculous it was under the first term with this clown. And then it all came flooding back in the past month as I've heard stupid thing after stupid thing. Of course, he's already planning the, overthrow of the government. That's part of Project 2025, but we're not going to get into that here. Trust me, I'd love to. But our focus is you, not the rest of the ilk you think of as good people. Not to that extent, anyway.
Bob Holmes comes Monday or Tuesday, and we're going to do a whole series on how to fix the public school system. Yeah, send it to President Trump. Are you being taught evolution in your biology class, earth science class? Are you being brainwashed? Yes, you are. We can fix all that.
Oh, by the way, well, I'm not saying everyone should go and potentially report these videos and such, but the fact that Kent is on Facebook, which is, fine, it's his prerogative, but I don't know how Facebook would accept some of the stuff he says. So anyone who happens to still use the massive spyware that is this particular meta platform. I'm not saying report stuff, but do what you feel is right. As with everything, Kent. If anything, just to be a thorn in his side, should you so choose, but I'm not saying do anything. I'm just saying you have the option. You have the power if you believe in yourself. Send $1 to Happy Dude, 742 Evergreen Terrace. Tell me someone out there gets that Simpsons reference. Let's continue.
Come join our 777 club if you want to be a member. I don't check up on, don't know who's in it. If you can, give $1 a day to help us keep going here. Okay, call 855 Big Dino extension 1 if you have any questions. Now, isn't there a bunch of dots a QR code they can scan to Do that? That's the one? If they scan that, what happens? Take them to PayPal? Okay, good. Whatever that does, okay.
I just have to take a moment to be like to Dustin here. Okay, dude. Whatever.
I'm too old to learn all this, brother. You guys, you learn it. Just make me look good, okay? DrDino.com. We've been open for free for almost 9 years now. We do this because people love the Lord and love our ministries.
Yeah, the only way President Carrot's going to end the war between Russia and Ukraine is by convincing or basically finding some way to strong arm Ukraine into giving up. It's, you don't want to get me started on political climate. You really, really don't. And I mean that, like just, y'all know what I mean. I don't have the energy for it. That's a primary thing.
Support us. So, Creepy Blind Man, you get it again tonight. The whack-a-mole game. Let's skip up to, over to Creepy here. Right here. I thought I dragged it over.
Oh, well, that actually makes perfect sense for Fuckerberg's stuff that they just don't give a damn. I forgot this is Facebook. And stuff I've seen that stays up for copious amounts of time.
What happened here?
Concerned with the relationship between...
Well, what happened?
I don't know, Kent. Probably you touching a computer.
According to evolution.
According to evolution, according to old man can't do shit right because I'm Kent fucking Hovind. I don't know how to do a goddamn thing because I'm a fucking retard.
Hi there, boys.
Yeah, I fucking said it. I apologize. I've got no. This is why I've been trying to filter myself today, because right now I have no filter. When you've been constantly hot, cold all day, and you're just kind of feeling a little worn out from it, you like, yeah, you don't really care what you say.
Let me drag it over again. No. Oh, we can't see Creepy tonight? Oh.
Oh, if only we couldn't see you, Kent. That would be glorious.
We had it working a minute ago, Joseph. What did I do wrong here?
God and creation. It is not a scientific textbook detailing the mechanisms of how...
You're not...
He is visibly confused. I mean, we all know that, but I just got to point it out since you mentioned he looks it. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Seth, Ambushed Apostate, for calling in to Kent's live stream last night and just doing a pretty savage troll on him. It's a beautiful moment. Big Bad Mama got a clip of it. Of course, it's on Kent's stream. Yeah, it was fun. So yeah, if you hadn't, go check out Ambushed Apostate. I really need to update my list of other accounts to follow on my YouTube page to add in some of my other buddies in this community. Because it's been a little small recently. There's also some other stuff I got to do with another YouTube account, but that's neither here nor there.
Missing anything by not seeing his face. I can tell you that right now. Okay. So let's just play a little bit of his audio. I don't know what happened here. Drag it over again. It won't do it. Oh, I got to have this one. I guess. One moment, folks. That's the glory of live TV, okay?
Live TV. I'm Kent Hovind, and I'm live on television. Hovind on TV. The Hovind channel. All Hovind all the time. Oh, God, they actually have that with their stupid KenHovind.tv. And fucking, they're seriously going to pay the money for the .tv TLD. Whatever. It is what it is. Claude here happening to mention to our friend Nick that Hovind is very petty and jealous creature with a huge ego. From what I've heard, that's the only thing huge about him. Apply cold water to the burned Hovind.
Oh, I know. I put it in. There we go. So let's put Creepy right here.
Yes, Justin, I saw that. I opened the channel or the video mentioning that, and and trying to, be part of the conversation since I haven't even mentioned it. And it's like, hey, I can pop up and be like, hey, I'm chatting with you, yeah, and tell Creaky, hey, thanks for mentioning me. And YouTube's eating the comments. I don't know if I've triggered some filter, but this happens with a few big creators I like, and it sucks. I rambled on about it a bit early on, so yeah, let's keep Hovind going. And wonder what we did.
Now we can drag him over. Drag him somewhere. Okay. I should use the word drag with some of these guys. Okay.
How did that creation happen?
His focus appears to be on demonstrating the scientific concept of natural selection. Okay.
Yeah, Brock, my other channel is absolutely unrelated to anything I in particular do. It's dedicated to a particular special interest of me just compiling and sharing content. It does have a video with over 1 million views, but that's just a special case because yeah, I might share it sometime. It's just, yeah, now's not the time or place.
Natural selection. Look at me, Adam. It selects. It doesn't create anything.
And I just realized that made it sound like it's something so horrible. It's not. It's related to a music artist that I really, really care about their story and stuff. But yeah, well, I'll do something on that sometime. I mean, I have on my channel if you go back and you can figure it out. But yeah, let's continue.
It's selection that's already available.
Well, that's told, isn't it? Ken, can you give me one example of somebody who isn't a young earth creationist claiming that natural selection creates anything?
Sure, be glad to. Creepy. I got him got found today. Very quickly found him. Let's see. Whacking atheist. Right here. Let me get up to, oh, too many buttons to push. There. Okay. All right. Oh, not that one. Let's see. Do all this. I got to go to the home.
Oh my god, if I knew this was Old Man Fails at Technology, I would have titled it that. Shit, this is pathetic.
Oh.
I mean, now I'm glad I'm just rambling on about whatever, because the Hovind video is giving us nothing. Or it's giving us everything, but it's so pathetic. What else do you say? Congratulations. Kent continues to show his complete incompetence. Good job there, Kent.
Wrong one. That's a debate one I got to get, brother. Ah, there it is.
Fucking
okay.
loser.
Alt DV. Hang on, Creepy. I'm coming. Okay. Okay. He said natural selection. He wants an example of somebody who thinks natural selection can create something. Here's a published whole textbook, Hope Biology, one of the top 4 publishers it was anyway. Evolution and Natural Selection. How natural selection causes evolution. They're claiming it causes it, Creepy, okay? Your large brain, the color of your skin, numerous other characteristics are a result of evolution by natural selection. They're claiming it made the different colors of the skin and different brain sizes. Some of you guys got a small one, okay? Darwin not only stated evolution had occurred, he proposed its mechanism, natural selection. They're claiming natural selection causes evolution, Creepy, okay? Creationists have no argument with natural selection. We thought of it first. It's a conservative process to remove defective organisms from the gene pool. Darwin's book, Origin of Species, right here on the shelf, a couple of copies of it, by means of natural selection. How do we get new species? Natural selection. That's what Charlie taught. Are you going to say he's wrong, Creepy? The preservation of favored races in the struggle for life. Let's see, National Pornographic. Natural selection is the process through which species adapt to their environment. It's the engine that drives evolution.
Hey, look, my name is Ken Hovind, and I read random shit from my slides all the time because I'm Ken Hovind. Look at me. And then I go, and then I keep on reading it because I'm Ken Hovind. And he thinks he's making points here.
Evolution. There it is, Creepy. They do teach it drives evolution. Natural selection can lead to speciation, where one species gives rise to a new and distinctly different species. It is one of the processes that drives evolution and helps to explain the diversity of life on Earth. Let's see. Darwin and other scientists argued artificial selection natural selection happens like artificial selection. He argued that natural selection explained how a wide variety of life forms developed over time from a single common ancestor. He's claiming natural selection did it, from an amoeba to a whale. Oh yeah, took millions of years, of course, but they're claiming it.
While Kent Rimble's on, I've got it queued up. So if you guys want to see what my other channel actually is, I could switch over to the tab and just show it real quick and then come back. You know. Oh, but Chris, you're not being professional. You're not focusing on the live stream. You're not focusing on the subject. You're not making a good video. It's like, no, this is a live stream. This is a live event. We're having fun here. You watch it later. It's a VOD of it, video on demand. Like I seriously had somebody who got pissed because they were watching the live stream and were like, just get to the point. And it's like, it's a live stream. I do what I do in my live streams. What are you talking about? But yeah, let me know if you want to see the other channel.
Let's see, Hawaii, Manoa, Hawaii.edu, natural evolution by natural selection. Here's a BYJUS. I forgot what that stands for. Let's see, how does natural selection lead to evolution? Creepy. They do teach this, okay? Berserkly even teaches it. Natural selection is one of the basic mechanisms of evolution, along with mutation, migration, genetic drift. Natural selection is a mechanism by which populations adapt and evolve. American Museum of Natural History. Here's nature.com. Evolution is a process that results in changes in the genetic material of a population over time. Evolution reflects the adaptations of organisms to their changing environment and can result in altered genes, novel traits, and new species. Creepy, they do teach natural selection causes evolution, okay? Natural selection might have a stabilizing effect, but it does not create anything. That's what I've been saying. Natural selection can only work on properties that already exist. It cannot create anything. Okay, here we go. Finches with a longer and stronger beak, larger.
Okay, I guess we'll switch tabs to it. This is going to be a complete deviation from anything, and it's something I really need to get back to working on. But yeah, we're going to share this tab. This actually is my other channel. I'm not logged into it here right now, but I mean, if you wanted proof, I can provide proof. You're going to be like, what the hell is this? This is a channel I used as just a bulk upload. Not that content wasn't out there already, but for a Korean pop artist named Uni. In 2007, January 21st, 2007, actually, she, yeah, as is sadly all too common in the Korean entertainment industry, and she's actually one of my favorite Korean pop artists. Uh, and that one of those things that kind of stuck with me. So I actually have a very neglected website. But otherwise, I've got the bulk of the music uploaded, combined with, I was intending to do whole full albums, and then life got in the way. You see, the last upload was 3 years ago, and so that's why I've forgotten to get around to stuff. But if you happen to look right here, where'd it go? Yeah, go. No, we cannot play because it actually gets flagged by something else. It has over 1 million views, and so I'm really proud of that. And granted, it's just the song. It's not anything I did, but people play it because that was like the big hit from her. But yeah, it's supposed to go with the coordinated website, and that's been super neglected. But I need to get back to it, especially since a lot of older sites that contained information have updated. They were like major Korean media outlets like Mnet, or entertainment outlets like Mnet. They've updated, and so boom, content's like gone. And luckily, I've got archives that I've got. But yeah, so that was a bit of a passion project from many, many years ago that got neglected. Then I went back to working on it, and then life happened, and I've forgotten about it. I just think about it from time to time. And if you're wondering about the name, it's actually a reference to if you were to look on the back of our first album, this album. There is a Daum, sort of a blogging website affair. That was actually the name of it, and so I stuck that in there as sort of the reference. And I've had people reach out and say they appreciate what I'm doing, and I always have to tell them I'm so sorry that I haven't been able to work on this for years. I just have not had the energy and motivation. So that's that. So you know. Wrong stream. Hang on. I accidentally tried to stream the restream. Would I had streamception? It was crazy. There we go. Is that back? Yeah, that's back to normal. Tomato OnlyFans. Oh, and it's funny, our friend Mark would come in while I'm talking about a South Korean entertainer. Adding new things to traits and stuff. No, Kent doesn't. Kent doesn't. And now, to be fair, saying that natural selection adds new traits isn't. I wouldn't call that exactly accurate, but it helps to. But it does select against traits, and those that are found fit for the environment, the organism, or the population of organisms we're living in have thus been selected against and shown to not necessarily by the nature of things, have to be weeded out for the survival of the species. Still not the best phrasing of it, but that's how that works. Let us see. Just everyone, Amos for banning the Bible. I can tell you, I really want a winter home in North Korea so that I don't have to deal with Christmas at all. So let me tell you, I fucking hate Christmas. Full stop. Hate it. I would love to go just 5 years with it just existent. Be wonderful. You know, else be wonderful to not have to deal with Hovind. But now that I'm aware of them, I can't be unaware of them. So let's keep going.
And stronger beaks were able to eat the tough pods. Evolution by natural selection had occurred in just 1 year. It's still a bird. It's still a beak. It didn't. Some already had large beaks, and some had small beaks. Okay. Over a long period of time, natural selection.
Yes, Kent. And if one type of beak or another shows to be beneficial for the particular habitat they're living in, those that have that beak are going to be more successful at living and presumably reproducing, and thus the overall population is going to have that trait become dominant. You add that process up of these variations, these mutations, these odd quirks, some of them pretty small, but some of them like scales turning into feathers. Pretty drastic change when you really look at it, or at least it appears that way to us. But honestly, it's all pretty straightforward processes that are, again, emergent complexity. I mean, those are always the words I'm going to have to go to with this stuff. Things like nuance, emergent complexity. You know, they're key factors to this from how I perceive it and the way I use English to articulate the ideas. Also, fuck, aren't those cats cute? I'm not sure what species, some kind of desert wildcat it looks like, but god damn, like simultaneously cute and terrifying. Um, Man, now I want to go to the zoo. We got a nice cat exhibit down there. Love them. Anyway, let's continue because why am I talking to Hovind, who doesn't understand a damn thing and just nuh-uhs anything I say? On the good point, Dino Lamp is on, so hi, Dino Lamp.
Can lead to evolution. Prentice Hall, one of the top publishers. This is a lie. Natural selection only selects, Creepy. If you work in a factory that made cars, and your job was quality control, car comes by, slam the doors, you kick the tires, make sure everything's right. How long would it take your quality control, and you caught every mistake? How long would it take that selection process to change the car to an airplane? Not going to do it, is it?
No, can't. But from things like the basic, and again, these are all created objects in this case, so we're talking about cars, so it's a moot thing to do an analogy because he'll try to turn it around to defend his own point, but Kent, I mean, from basic early cars, we got a lot of variations. We got trucks, we got, big trucks. We got tanks. Are tanks related to cars, Kent? That'd be a good one for you. Yeah. I mean, if you tack enough shit onto a car, you can kind of try to make it a plane. It's not going to be a very good plane. But of course, if you were to constantly every single time change one little piece every time you build one, then you'd see a pattern. If you imagine that as individual generations of a population, hey, you start to piece it together. But again, I don't want to play your game because those are artificial constructs, created objects. And again, in your worldview, there is no distinction between the artificial and the natural, thus playing any, even playfully acknowledging these ideas will be seen to you as an absolute win. Your analogy sucks, though.
Natural selection to keep the species strong, That's the end of the story right there. Can't create a thing. We all agree there's a great range in dog sizes. Look at the size of that dog. Is there a limit? Creepy, is there any limit to dog size? Will they ever get a dog a half-inch tall or 5 miles high? I bet there's a limit in there somewhere.
And every time, Kent, everything you describe is a physical limit. Is there a limit to the color fur they can have? Yeah, how about that? But it's still a dog. It's like, yeah, but I mean, have you seen a purple dog ever? Well, it's purple. Maybe there's some other traits. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here. Just slowly add on particular things to a point where it's clearly not the same, but it once was. So you can never get this. You can never gather that. And again, there's the idea that, quite honestly, outside of looking at the genetics, if one was to do any kind of, if we just had fossilized specimens of modern dog breeds and they were looked at in situ in just their structural way, they might damn well be classified as different species. And indeed, one could argue for some cases of dog breed, because of the fact that just by physical limitations they can't reproduce, that they are effectively different. But we tend not to do that with things like that. But we sure as hell do it with other stuff. Meets the criteria. So, I mean, it all just depends on how people are going to classify things. And you go, oh, well, the animals don't care how we classify them. Then you negate your entire kind concept as well, and thus you have nothing to stand on for anything. You can't argue what animals are what, because then you have to name them, then you have to identify them, then you have to classify them. And again, you said the animals don't care, so which is it, Kent? Oh, this is going to be a rambly stream.
If you got 2 dogs to feed, how'd you like to feed that one? Yeah. Thousands of dog breeders in the world try to selectively breed dogs to get smaller and more useless dogs because people pay big money to get the smaller dog. Okay.
What is with that damn laughing he does all the time? It's so unnerving. Seriously, that's got to be a sign of some kind of mental condition. Like some kind of sociopathy. It doesn't feel at all right or natural. It's never after a joke. It's just always after some particular absurdism that somehow tickles him in a way that just doesn't make sense.
It's a pretty tiny one. Completely useless. Can't you see the thing as a guard dog? He'd go out barking at the squirrel. Yep, 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 yep. Squirrel would go crunch. End of dog. Okay. Still a dog. 340 varieties of dog, both species of wolf, 19 varieties of coyote, probably had a common ancestor, and it looked like a dog. You guys don't get it. Natural selection selects what's already available. The dog, coyote, and wolf genes can be analyzed to have a common ancestor. I agree. Even National Pornographic did.
Good point there, so don't ask him. If a reptile lived for 1,000 years, would it become as big as Texas? Huh?
Went from wolf to woof. All the dogs probably had a common ancestor called a dog. Divergent evolution. Don't give it a fancy name. It's still a dog.
Yep, Mark has shown the doggo on Discord. And if you're not in my Discord, you might want to be. You'll see weird stuff like that. And get an at mention every time I'm about to go live. Because, actually, Mark is the one who requested that. So I do it every time, manually. My Discord server is a weird place.
Dog. From an Irish textbook. The fact that we can get varieties of dogs does not prove that dogs, humans, birds, frogs, sunflowers, and jellyfish have a common ancestor. How can anyone with half a brain still working believe this chart is science? It's a propaganda poster.
Oh yeah, being so loving. No hate like Christian love there, Kent.
All it is. Yes, boys and girls, jellyfish. You are related to one. See, I had a bunch of 4-year-old, 5-year-olds one time at a church. I said, okay, boys and girls, here we have a dog, a wolf, a coyote, and a banana. Which one is not like the others? They get it every time. The banana. Yeah. Here's the world's biggest bull. Look at that, 3,800 pounds. Look at that one. Farmers have been trying to get bigger and bigger bulls and cows for a long time. They now have huge cows and little bitty cows. That one's Wisconsin sets the national milk record, 78,000 pounds of milk in 1 year.
Maria, this is true. It's given several generations free breeding feral dogs lose features of purebreds, and subsequent generations end up looking the same. Yeah, the dominant traits would amalgamate, because a lot of what we've selected for are recessive traits. A ton of what we've done there, specifically recessive traits. So those would go by the wayside pretty soon. And yeah, I think he did, Allie.
Utterly insane. There's a 20-inch tall cow from Bangladesh, the smallest cow in the world. 20-inch. Cows range from 20 to 80 inches. Do you think I'll ever get a cow? Is there a limit? Think I'll ever get a cow 2 inches tall or 5 miles high? You guys, I know you won't admit it. You can't, because you know your whole religion crumbles as soon as you admit it. But there are limits to all these changes. Man has selectively bred 450 varieties of cows now. Probably had a common ancestor called a cow. That's what I've been saying for years. That's not evolution. That does not prove that cows, humans, frogs, jellyfish, and everybody else had a common ancestor. Evolution of Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
Oh, Kent. I just don't have the energy for this today, but we're going to power through. We're going to. Also, hopefully I wasn't muted for too long. I think I just did a tiny little ramble and then kept going. Man, I really shouldn't be doing this, actually, now that I think about it, but we're going to make it through this.
The Bible says they'll bring forth after their kind. Certainly, creepy. Variations happen, nobody argues, but they have limits. They've been trying to get bigger pigs for a long time. Do you think they'll ever get a pig as big as Texas? I'd bet $5 there's a limit in there somewhere. I don't know what the world's record hog is. Can you Google that, somebody? World's record pig. What's the biggest pig they ever got?
Yeah, you would care about big pigs, Kent. I don't know why. Something just tells me that's something you'd care about. Open mic tonight. Not with the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling actually kind of rough today, and it's taking its toll on the quality of the stream. But hey, it is what it is.
Roaches can become resistant to pesticides. I agree. They're never going to become resistant to a sledgehammer. There's a limit, okay? They always produce the same kind of plant or animal. That's not evolution. And the information for that variety was already present in the gene pool. No new information is added. The dogs don't become pink or learn to fly. Yep.
There's a Big Bill from Tennessee, weighed 2,552 pounds.
One pig, 2,500 pounds. They're from Tennessee, right? No.
Oh, hell, don't go bringing Tennessee up in this. Them's fighting words, buddy.
Ma'am, are you from Tennessee? 2,500-pound pig?
Stood 5 foot tall. Big pig.
Think of all the bacon of that thing. The new gene pool of the new variety.
Hey, all I can think about with pigs is eating them. I can't think about how smart pigs are, or you know, how actually cute they can be, or anything like that, or appreciate them as the wonderful creatures they are. Nope, I just gotta think about the bacon. And don't get me wrong, I love bacon. I like ham. And I have serious personal ethical qualms with the fact that I enjoy those, knowing how smart pigs are. I'm having a hard time convincing myself to break from the consumption of such. I want to, but a part of me doesn't. And you know, that dilemma is one of those things that makes me human. And I say that in the contrast of how someone like Kent isn't really human to me. He's a monster. Just a horrible person. But Caruso Tomato, that's the same language a certain failed Austrian painter used against a certain other demographic. And it's like, yeah, but it's not. You've demonstrated to be a horrible person, Kent. This isn't a hate campaign against you to blame you for all of my problems in life. Not a single problem in my life has ever been caused by you. I've just become aware of how truly horrible a person you are, as well as a science-denying nut job, and have decided to do what I do.
He's always more.
Accidentally hit the space bar. And lost my train of thought. Beautiful. That thing derailed like Amtrak, baby. Right into the Mississippi River. Boy, there's an obscure reference to a train incident in Louisiana back in like 1990. Anyway, I gotta stop with these dark jokes. Or do more of them. I don't know. Um, what was I gonna say? Shit, I don't even know. I don't even know. Kent sucks. Let's keep going.
Limited than before and less able to adapt to future changes. Chihuahuas cannot produce Great Danes anymore. How long would Chihuahuas last in the real world? I can see it. Hey, go ahead, make my day, bud. Bark one time. So I don't think Creepy understands. There are limits. Okay, let me get back to, let's see. I think it's here. Let me try it. Okay. Adam's views on evolution are centered around the idea of testing and demonstrating the concept of natural selection through experimentation. Yay, that would be science. Rather than addressing geological or biblical interpretations of evolution.
Which wouldn't be science.
Why do you say the Bible wouldn't be science? Creepy, the Bible says 20 times in the first 7 chapters, the animals and plants will bring forth after their kind. That's a scientific statement.
Oh, god damn it. I'm doing the thing again. If I ever was able to get a pet pig, I would name him Kevin. So he would be Kevin Bacon. It's pretty lame. Pretty lame.
Bible says God made everything in 6 days. That's a claim, scientific claim. Can you prove it wrong? Bible says there'd be scoffers in the last days who'd be willingly ignorant of the creation and the flood and the coming judgment. Put yourself in that category. Anyway, let Creepy talk here. His approach
If you haven't drank hose water, you haven't lived.
emphasizes the power of innovation, experimentation, and adaptation, aligning with principles of evolutionary biology. Adam, nothing about science aligns with the principles of evolutionary biology.
Well, Ken, that's a pretty bold claim.
That's all you've been making the whole program is pretty bold claims that evolution is a fact, okay? All you gotta do is...
That's all you've been doing. Evolution is a fact. I'm Hovind. I don't have shit to work with, so I'm just going to sit there and say, all you've been doing is making bold claims. Well, all I do is claim that some musty old book from 1 billion years ago says anything that's remotely true when it's proven to be completely false, because I'm Ken Hovind, and I'm the arbiter of everything. I'm Ken Hovind, and I'm Jesus fucking Christ. Hovind. Fucking clown. I love how just bitter this man is getting at this point. It's beautiful, but frustrating, because it causes him to lose the plot even more as he's doing his stupid videos. Let's see, my excuse is, 1, I'm dumb as hell, and 2, I don't feel good. What's Ken's excuse? Oh, right.
Stated like it's ex cathedra from the Pope. Evolution is true. There's no evidence for it. Let's see what he offers here. He rattles off the same.
Look, I'm no fan of the Catholic Church, but if I had to choose between trusting Ken Hovind and trusting the Pope, I'd trust the Pope. Not very much, but I'd still trust him over Kent Hovind. Kent could tell me the building's on fire. The Pope could say it's not, and I'd trust the Pope. Unless I happen to see evidence of the fire myself, in which case I'm going to be like, hey, Pope, let's get your holy ass out of here. And he'll be like, oh, shit. And then we all run. And then he thanks me. And, you know, it's a cool moment. And then I wake up. I don't know. Honey, I saved the Pope. Coming soon to a dream theater near you.
Same thing everybody does every time, like they've memorized this script.
Right, so nothing in science aligns with evolution.
Bingo, you're on my side. Thank you, Creepy. You quit now, okay? No, you got to keep talking.
Really? Let's just take off a few things, shall we?
Okay.
Genetics.
Sure. The gene code of any genetic code is more complex than any program ever written by man. Actually,
No, it's not.
the gene.
I mean, the fact that the the genetic samples of humanity can that it's a database is what it is. I mean, it's not code. So I don't even know why I'm trying to go further with it. It's not code. It can be considered. We can think of it analogous to code, and that's what the whole thing is an analogy, so people can think about it in a way that they might understand. But it's chemicals doing what chemicals do.
Gene code of one human cell is more complex than all the codes written in the whole world combined.
No, it's not. The fact that we can write programs that simulate protein folding, Kent, means that it's not more complicated. Just take all the time you need to think about that. You'll eventually figure out what I mean. Or you won't. Probably the latter, because I know my audience is all knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Joseph, you're into computers a lot. How many lines of code have been written in the world?
7. There. Greater than 1. The fuck does it matter? Can't like Joseph's gonna know. I have no idea what constitutes lines of code. Would you even know computer code if you looked at it? Could you recognize a COBOL statement from a a statement in Python from C, C++, C sharp? Could you differentiate them? Do you understand, Gopher scripting? Can you read basic HTML? Can you write lines of asterisk dial plan code? Because I sure as fuck can. Let me pull some shit up here. I'm feeling feisty right now. Let me just go. So let's see. I have a file called routing.conf. It is a configuration file of routings for phone calls through the my portion of the virtual phone network that some friends and I run. It consists of, on its own, which this isn't much, but 1,240 lines of handwritten code that are specifically routines to cause it to behave a certain way and play certain sounds to simulate the sounds of a phone call going through the old phone network of the mid 20th century. And that's just one file of many in just custom configuration stuff. I don't know where I'm going with that. I guess I just wanted to brag, like, hey, look at my routing file. It's completely obtuse. I love it. But it's like, you don't know anything, Kent. So, me as a tech person, when you do this code, when anyone does this code thing, it really fucking bothers me. Because fucking chemicals behaving according to the properties they have is not code. This asterisk dial plan that I wrote is code. That's not. DNA isn't. Fuck, this man is pissing me off.
Huh?
Oh,
well, y'all like it when I get angry, so it all works out.
Over hundreds of millions of code just for Microsoft.
Hundreds of millions of codes just for Microsoft. And the DNA code in one cell in your body is more complex than that. And you think nobody did it. And you think DNA code is evidence for evolution? You are out of your mind.
DNA, the fact that all living things share a common genetic code.
Right. All the English books in my library here, thousands of them, all use the same 20.
So Sponge Robert's asking, how do you make a stream and allow people to join? Is it possible here on YouTube, or do we need to do it from another platform? In this case, I use, you can see it flagged in the upper right corner, the watermark Restream, which ironically is the same platform that Genesis Baptist Church uses to set up a stream. It's tied to my YouTube account, and then there is an invite link. Like, I could put an invite link and people could come in, but I'm using it as just a platform for doing these streams in just a nice, contained way that also helps me show comments like this. But yeah, Restream.io, StreamYard is another very popular one. I used that a lot until I started running into the limit of 20 hours a month. and I switched to Restream, which, hate to say, Restream has, I like StreamYard more, but Restream has better features in the free plan, especially the audio video quality of the stream is higher. So yeah, that's but that's the answer to that, I guess.
26 letters of the English alphabet. Yeah, that's the code with which you write English.
It isn't a code either. Again, you can do an analogy, but it's not really code. Code is kind of defined differently.
So that's proof they're all related to Morse code. That's your faulty logic.
No, Kent, but in a funny twist of the ways of coding, encoding of information, to use a more accurate phrase, Morse code is a derivative of the Latin alphabet. Take of that what you will. So you kind of cart before horse on that little, still pointless, whatever the hell you'd call it.
That's pretty aligned with the idea of common ancestry and...
No, Creepy, it aligns with the idea of a common designer. The same guy wrote the code. And see, our computer codes are primitive, just, zeros and ones. The DNA code is a 4-part code, CATG. That's really much more complicated than our code, our computers. Much more complicated. It's just proof of a common designer. The same guy wrote the code, Creepy. How can you not get it? Okay.
descent with modification, wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't. Descent with modification.
Ken is 50 years outdated. This man is living in 1975, and he's obsolete for that. This man probably thought disco was of the devil.
Agree with that. I'm different than my grandparents, but we're still human. All
No, Kent, you're not human.
All we've ever seen is humans produce humans, and dogs produce dogs, and cats produce cats. There are no exceptions. But you guys want to draw lines on paper connecting them all. That's stupid. That's a religious belief. It's not science. Tell you what, any of you watching that agree with Creepy here, call me and schedule a debate. You think DNA...
Here we go. Everyone say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Debate me, bro. Debate me. Harvard.
I'll get a whole program just on DNA, just for you. You really think it happened by chance? You know, the English alphabet, if I get a book...
Oh, God, he's starting to piss me off with this English alphabet shit. I'd rather go play Minecraft. Deviant Outcast pops up with, Grizu, your anger surreptitiously satiates my own frustration vis-a-vis Hovind's narcissistic, abusive ass-fuck hattery. It's healing. You're kind of like Jesus in that way. Thinking emoji. Wow, I managed to say that without fucking it up. Yes! And then the coughs come. I wouldn't compare myself to Jesus. Because for one, I'm too damn white. And for two, the only miracle I performed was saving a couple of hard drives back 10 years ago that had some important data on them. That's it.
And I see it's got black ink on this paper. This is more than ink on paper. This is designed in a way to carry information. The DNA code is more than just, the CATG molecule. It carries information. A whole new level of...
Yeah, that's something, I don't know if it was you commented, Mark, or somebody commented that, yeah, he's wearing a Casio calculator watch. Which is just, that's some shit I'd do. But when I do it, it's cool. When Kent does it, it's ridiculous. Also, what does a math expert need a calculator watch for?
complexity. And it's so complex, nothing man's ever been able to do is anywhere close to a DNA code. You think it happened by chance? Okay. Let's get let him keep talking here.
Fossil records, the fact that we find simpler life forms in older layers of rock.
First of all, that is a propaganda statement. We don't find, there's no such thing as a simple life form. If it's alive, it's complicated. And the fact...
speaking of ambush time on there, I probably will do a short video on that call from ambush perspective because, seeing how they actually do things and showing it to everybody with, my natural commentary in there. It's going to be superb. Superb.
The fact is, you might find smaller organisms at the bottom. That would happen with a flood. If you shake things up, things would tend to sort out. I'll show you here. Let's see. How did I get off on that one? Right there. Let's see, go home. Oh, got to figure out how it makes this thing tick, brother. There. Alt TV. That's the way you get it going.
Miserable sitting in that church building every single night watching him do this stuff. And that's the other thing I don't get, is that this is the entire obsession. This is everything these people do. But it's not a cult. What the fuck?
Let's see, where do you get fossil record? Fossil sorting. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you in small words, Creepy. Maybe you'll get it. Why are animals sorted into layers? First place, they're not neatly sorted in layers, okay? But if they were, maybe they're sorted based upon habitat. Clams are found at the bottom, usually, because they're already at the bottom when the flood stump comes. Of course, they're the first ones buried. Maybe there's a little bit of sorting to the fossils based upon their mobility. Clams can't run very fast? Maybe they're sorted based upon their intelligence. As far as anybody can figure out, clams aren't too smart. Maybe they're sorted based upon their body density. Clam shells are 1,000 times denser than bird feathers.
And again, with always saying the same crap, he can't just make the base point and move on. He has to put in this stuff that he thinks is zingers. He is so full of himself. Like, you notice that. Like, you can hear me hold for a moment like I'm about to say something different, and then I decide, no, we're going to move on with the stream, because I either can't come up with anything, or what I came up with isn't very good. So I decide I'm not going to bother with it. And sometimes I try and fail, and sometimes what I say ends up being funny. Most of the time not, but hey. But I do it to serve the stream. And yeah, sometimes I'll go off on tangents or whatever. That's become a known thing. The regulars, y'all come for it. The other people, the randos, it's whatever. They don't get it. They're not they're not my tribe. They're not us. But like, Kent doesn't do this stuff to serve the message. He does it to serve himself. It's really obvious when you've watched as much day in, day out Kent as I've now started to do. And let's be clear. And it just hit me that all of my Kent Hovind watching, nearly all of it, is documented here. It's almost always done live, with maybe a pre-watch, or maybe I'll catch something and I'll be in Discord, posting about it, with the rest of the crew in there, be it AJ's, my server, what have you. But when you've seen this stuff for just every day, or every couple of days, just go into this mad world, you notice these patterns and realize what he's doing. It's not like it wasn't obvious, but it really becomes so obvious. Like, I've compared notes I took when I first ever wanted to cover Kent Hovind, and I see I've nailed everything, but I now see every little thing I wrote in those notes so much more clearly, which is amazing to, in one watching, get everything you need to know about the man, yet simultaneously, after 1,000 things, still be refining all of those points. I don't know, it's just so weird. Is this just the nature of lolcows? I don't know. The only lolcow I've ever went into that depth in was Chris Chan, and by the time you hit about 2015, it got too recent for me, and I just had to back out. But I don't know. Someone knows. It ain't me. Certainly ain't Kent. Maybe it's one of y'all. I don't know. No one knows. Let's just keep going.
Maybe there's a correlation there. Not anything to do. See, the Bible warned about people like you. In the last days, there shall come scoffers, walking after their own lust, and saying, where's the promise of his coming? All things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. The Bible says they are willingly ignorant of three things. Number one, how God made the heavens and the earth. They don't understand what the creation was like. I'm a firm believer in what's called the canopy theory. There was a crystal canopy a couple inches thick surrounding the whole world like a big greenhouse. It got destroyed at the flood and fell down to the North and South Pole, making the Ice Age. We covered that on video number 2 and number 6 of my series. So I believe the pre-flood world was different. They could live longer and grow bigger. 80-foot apatosauruses. Oh, can't.
Live longer, grow bigger, praise harder. Crystal canopy. Coming soon to a newly created Earth near you. Crystal canopy not guaranteed. May be destroyed after a worldwide flood. Do not ingest crystal shards. Hovind. I don't know. Sorry, I'm having trouble thinking about stuff on the fly. I had to roll with that one as I could. Hope you appreciated it.
Can't see my dinosaur. 80-foot apatosaurus.
Ooh, Kent, mute the mic before you do that.
Sauruses had nostrils the same size as a horse. They were breathing 35% oxygen under double atmospheric pressure. You need to watch video 6 for more on that, okay? So the scoffers are ignorant of how God made the heavens. They're ignorant of the flood that overflowed the world. You guys don't understand what a flood would do. It would sort things into layers, just like this does here. Tip it over, it makes a bunch of layers. There you go. Tip this thing over, it'll make a whole bunch of layers in a few minutes. There's only 2 or 3 densities of sand in here. Let's see, blue, black, and white. It'll make 40 different layers in a few minutes. Creepy. All the layers formed in Noah's flood. But you're ignorant of the flood. And?
So, last night, I had forgotten about this, but last night, Kent, in his stream, Kent believes we went to the moon. So believes the Apollo program to whatever extent. He may only think there was Apollo 11 when, ignoring the other missions. He says we went to the moon, but there was a problem with the camera, so they refilmed everything on Earth. Which is weird to me, given that we had the live slow scan TV feed from Apollo 11 on July 20th, 1969, as things were happening. And don't get me started on moon deniers. I go with the Buzz Aldrin, Bart Sibrel approach on that. And if you don't know, I'm referencing when Buzz Aldrin punched Bart Sibrel. Beautiful moment. Now, granted, since then, Buzz has lost his mind, but, not all heroes can be, it's in the nature of all heroes to eventually fade. Still, moon deniers piss me off, or moon landing deniers, space deniers really tick me off, so less we stay on the subject, the better. But that's Kent's stance. He's half in the conspiracy hole, but not far enough into it that he thinks we didn't at all. It's so fucking ridiculous. And of course he'd believe half of the conspiracy.
They're ignorant of the coming judgment of God. It's reserved unto fire against the day of judgment. So you scoffers are ignorant. You don't know what the creation was like. You don't know what the flood was like, what that did to the world, how that formed all the layers with tidal pumping, and how the coming judgment of God is coming. See, the moon pulls the water up on the earth, making a bump.
Well, he's on to tidal pumping again. He must be getting lonely.
Called the high tide. We're spinning under that bump. So the water is constantly going from the east into that bump at the same speed the world is turning the other way. So we get high tide, low tide, high tide. It would be 6 hours apart, but the moon's moving, so it's 6 hours, 12 and a half minutes. Who cares? Well, the tidal pumping, water going up and down every 6 hours, 12 and a half minutes, is going back and forth into the bump and out of the bump. Come see our gravel pit. You saw that today, didn't you, on the tour? We talked about the gravel layers formed in all the layers formed in 1 year in the flood. We're 31 degrees north here in Lenox, Alabama. Water would be going sideways at 900 miles an hour right here.
Yeah, I honestly don't have words for last night's stream. It was insane. And yes, I am going to cover last night's stream. Even though I watched it, we're going to watch it again. It pretty much consists of a 30 fucking minute. I'm going to spoil it for you. It's a 30 fucking minute rant on embryology again, where Kent gets more and more bitter as it goes on. Then he decides to take a call. Seth had been waiting for like 20 minutes. Takes Seth's call. Seth's call happens. Ends. Then Claude had tried to get on, and they figured out it was him real quick, and kicked him off because they're assholes. And then someone asked about the freaking moon landing, and Kent said the crap he said. It was a moment. I just. And a $5 super chat from our friend Marty. Kent says theory. I do not think it means what he thinks it means. God, I can't speak today. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate the super chat. And yep, it does not mean what he thinks it means at all. All of Aldrin's sanity went into that punch. Honestly, yeah. I think that's what happened, because it seems like after that, I mean, especially when Aldrin got into the whole Musk thing, because I mean, Mars has always been a big thing, but with Musk being like, oh yeah, we're going to Mars by 2015. Yeah, that really happened, you fuckwit. Aldrin went all into that stuff, and I'm just like, ugh. So yeah. H.P. Lovecraft shout out better gods than Kent does at his preaching. Well, Lovecraft was just speaking the truth. We'll all stand before Cthulhu one day. I've done it once. I came out okay. 900-mile-an-hour supersonic tidal wave. Yeah.
The flood. North Pole, the Earth spins 0 miles an hour. Atlantic spins 886, almost 900.
Using flat earther logic here too is what's funny, because they always talk about the Earth's rotation at in the sense of miles per hour, rather than the well documented 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob. Rest in peace, Bob Nadell.
The equator is 1,037.38 or 58, depending on your altitude and mean sea level. Okay. So the tidal pumping, the water going up and down, is going to be rushing in and out, and that's what made all the layers in 1 year. There is no such thing as a geologic column. I'm sorry.
Yep, because sandstone got created in a year. I'd like to see you create some sandstone in a year, Kent. Get a bunch of water, get a bunch of sand, and make some sandstone. Do it or shut the fuck up, old man.
All the layers are the same age. When water is moving sideways, get the video, Experiments in Stratification. Google that.
Which one? Okay, so it's a 35-minute video titled Experiments in Stratification. That's the one we're looking for. Because you look up Experiments in Stratification, you get like 500 fucking videos on YouTube, and none of them look any better than the other. They all look like they were filmed with a goddamn... What is that? I've ruined the joke. That camera that took like an audio cassette and used it to hold the video track, which is actually pretty cool. They look like they were filmed on that, then colorized for her pleasure. I don't know. They all look like shit, so you can't even tell which one's supposed to be the one that's so good, the professional one. You think they'd add some meta tags or some extra stuff. But okay, we know which experiments of stratification to fucking look at.
He shows clearly how that when the water is moving sideways and they pour sediments in there, it forms 3 layers, or 5 layers, or 10 layers sometimes, and the layers form horizontally, not vertically. The top layer is not younger, Creepy. I'm sorry, you got brainwashed. You need to do some real science research on how the layers of the Earth form because of the tidal pumping of the flood. Okay. Oh, look at that.
I mean, I'm gonna be serious. And this is pretty dark. But if when I'm at that age, I even have anyone really close to me, honestly, because people suck. Not you guys, y'all are cool, but other people. Yo, seriously, if I start completely losing it, put me out of my misery. I do not want to have my mental faculties, as weirdly structured as they are, as chaotic as it is up there, the stuff that makes me go, but me still be around. That's the only way I can phrase it. Like, just let it end. Because at that point, I'm not me anymore. There's no point. Caruso Tomato no longer exists. We just got some guy. Ugh. Don't let me go like that, you know? Let's continue.
See, that bottom layer, I think, is 18 million years old, and this one's only 4.2 million. I think I need a government grant, a couple of $1 million to study all this. I'd probably get it, wouldn't I? In the last administration, I would have for sure. Okay, let's get Creepy back online here for a few more minutes. Okay. No, got to go this way. I like that pose right there.
PXL 2000 is the camera I'm thinking of. It was ostensibly marketed towards children, but it filmed, used one channel of the stereo audio cassette for audio, and used another channel to hold heavily compressed, very low quality video, which incidentally goes back to when we were talking about the moon landings. That's what the whole slow scan cameras on Apollo 11 were. They had a lower resolution than standard television slow scan rates compared to standard NTSC broadcasts. And that was of a bandwidth that could be sent back to Earth through the transmission tech on, on the LEM and thus on the command service module when it would relay, or just directly to Earth. I forget when they did or didn't relay data. There probably wasn't that much relaying, but I'm sure there was some on passes. But that's, again, neither here nor there. I just, always bring up random things, share some random factoids while I stream. You guys appreciate it. Oh, man, we're most of the way through this. Let's keep going.
So, Creepy, I will debate you on the geologic column. It does not exist anywhere. There is no geologic column. If the top layer is younger, I've been asking you guys for months now, where was it hiding out for millions of years waiting to land? Moving it from here to here does not make it younger or older, Creepy. If I shuffle a deck of cards...
here he is on his thing.
Is the top card younger?
Kent, how about you put those cards out and place and draw one card and set it on the table from left to right every 5 seconds. After you've put down 10 cards, how many seconds has the first card been down for versus the one you just put down? Congratulations, Kent. You've now have an understanding of how the layers are aged. It's a little more complicated than that, but that's the analogy, since you love analogies so much. And according to your logic, as one of my commenters put out, an analogy is therefore evidence. The fact that I've come up with an analogy that addresses this means that I'm right. Oh, but it doesn't work like that? Okay, well, the fact that all of this can be explained trivially and has been explained to you, it means I'm right. So either way, I'm right, you're wrong, Kent. I'm always right when it comes to you. Even when I'm wrong, I'm still right. Fractal wrongness is the world you live in, Hovind.
How can you guys not see it? There is no geologic column. There is no fossil record. None of the fossils talk or have dates on them. You just don't get it. Okay, here we go.
And more complex life forms in younger layers?
They're not younger layers, Creepy, although they are the same age. And the reason there's more complex life forms generally up at the top is maybe they could be smart enough to live longer and avoid drowning till the last minute, and that's why they're buried.
And avoid drowning. Nismo, no, the SS United States, I'm not sure where exactly it is right now, but it's still got time to get down to Mobile, is it Mobile? To wherever it's getting remediated. It has to go through a lot of processes of finishing, removing contaminative components, removing the funnels, a few other things before she can be sunk. It's going to be a big deal when it is sunk. And it's SS United States, not SS America. I think SS America was a 1939 ocean liner, one of them. There was a 1939. And then there was the USS America. Let's see. Those were, of course, military ships. Let's look at the last one. Yeah, okay, so SS America. Yeah. Yeah, she was wrecked in 1994. Built for white. Well, let me share the tab. There we go. All right, yeah, we're in it. Here's all the names she went through. Yeah, SS American Star. That's the one. Yeah, later fleet made SS United States. She was smaller, so the two were sister ships, but they were not totally the same. And yeah, she eventually broke up and slowly eroded away. It's beautiful but sad. But yeah, that's actually the sister of the SS United States. Back to that. Yeah, let's continue with Hovind.
On top. It does not have to prove some kind of relationship. They might be sorted based upon their mobility, their habitat, their intelligence. You guys just don't get it. How you don't get it? Willingly ignorant. That's it. Okay.
That kind of fits with the idea of life evolving over time, right?
That gives you the idea, because clams are found at the bottom and birds are found on top. That gives you the idea. Gives me the idea that clams are already at the bottom when the flood starts. Of course they're found at the bottom. Duh. And petrified closed clams are found all over the world. They found them on top of Mount Everest. I think when a clam dies, it opens, Creepy, right away. But if the water's coming in at 900 miles an hour, it's going to make a layer of mud 50 feet thick in 5 seconds and bury them alive. And when
Well, see, he was when he sorry, I can't come up with the joke that I want to. It involves ologies, analogies from orgies, but I can't figure out how to actually make the joke work. So I'm gonna abort that joke. That's abort, and move on with the stream, because this stream is a complete train wreck.
they wake up dead, they can't even open. And so they petrify.
And they wake up dead.
Probably in a year or less. They can petrify things in the laboratory in 24 hours under pressure. I think the flood made all the fossils in 1 year. Okay, let's see, Creepy. Okay.
Right? Comparative anatomy. The fact that different species share similar bone structures, suggesting...
Ooh. Say it with me, everyone. Maybe that's because they have a common designer. You know, the lug nuts on a such and such, and they... I'm Hovind, love my voice, Hovind, worship me, I'm Jesus Christ, Hovind Christ. Hey, everyone, I'm Hovind Christ.
A common ancestor.
Is that the only thing you can think of? Could it be the similar bone?
It's the only thing that the evidence points to, Kent, because you have, as we keep telling you, completely failed to demonstrate the designer. You can throw the idea out there, but comes to actual evidence, cricket chirps. There's nothing, Kent.
Bone structure suggests a common designer? You know, apes and humans both have to walk. So we need a hip joint that swivels around, a ball and socket joint, the great trochanter. Yeah, maybe it's the same design because it works good. It doesn't have to be a common ancestor. Are you allowed to even think outside that box?
Vestigial organs, those leftover...
Vestigial organs, creep.
You know, he'll even say stuff like that the same. He has repeatedly said the exact same thing. Are you even allowed to think outside that box? Word for word, inflection for inflection. It's incredible how much of a robot this man is.
There are no such thing. What's a vestigial organ? The appendix, the adenoids, the tonsils, the tailbone? I've said for years, if you atheists think the tailbone's vestigial, I will pay to have yours removed. Come on down. I got my Swiss Army knife. I just sharpened it a couple days ago. Okay? There are no such thing as vestigial structures. If there were...
Please, that Swiss Army knife's probably duller than a Hovind's sense of humor.
That wouldn't help your cause any. That's the opposite of what you need. You need nascent ones coming on, becoming useful. We don't have any of those. So, I'm sorry, there are no vestigial structures. I'll debate you on that. Back in the 1800s, they had a list of 180 vestigial organs. They said the human body doesn't need these. They've now discovered the use for all of them. No such thing as a vestigial structure. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, is there anything about Hovind that doesn't bother us? And drive us nuts? I mean, you know, just got to think about it. It's just everything about him is obnoxious.
Creepy.
Bits of anatomy that serve no real purpose, but are remnants of our evolutionary...
Talking about vestigial organs serve no purpose. Call for a debate. 855 Big Dino. Attention.
Yeah, Kent's brain is vestigial.
4. Let's pick the top 3 vestigial structures, and I will demolish them for your audience that are smart enough to understand.
We pass molecular biology, the fact that we can trace evolutionary relationships.
The same guy wrote the code. It's a really complicated code.
See, I'm figuring Kent got donated a new Swiss Army knife, is what I think happened.
creepy. I mean, really complicated. I'd bet all the books by Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens.
Yeah, I don't have my tonsils. They were removed when I was in third grade. It was December of third grade. Huh. That was early December. And then later that year, or later that December, for Christmas, y'all want to know what I got? Let me tell you, most kick-ass Christmas ever, right? Fucking Connect set and a fucking Sega Genesis, amongst other crap. A Connect set and a Sega fucking Genesis. You know what I was doing 3 hours later? Trying to build a chemical plant zone with a Connect set. I did not get very far, but I tried. Good times, good memories. Good memories.
Have a lot of similarities. If somebody went through and analyzed all the books that Samuel Clemens wrote, Mark Twain, they would find.
Yes, Kent, and you acknowledge that Samuel Clemens' real name is Samuel Clemens went by the pen name Mark Twain, yet you attack others for having pseudonyms. It's okay when he does it, but not okay for everyone else. Okay. You love doing that in your little call-ins, like I'm here, I'm Kent Hovind, It's like no one cares. That's not a flex.
Find lots of similarities, maybe the same structure, maybe the same idioms. Proof the same author wrote the book. That's all. You guys just.
It was Christmas of '93. Sorry if I didn't mention that. I should have. Third grade, 93. Sorry, the fact that the grade I was in matched the last digit of the year, school year that it started in. The year that the grade started in matched it. So like third grade started in 93, fourth grade in 94. I've never really thought about it any other way to have to specify.
Just don't get it. You don't want to get it. Okay. But no, there's nothing from chromosomes that's going to help your cause. Chromosomes are way too complex to have happened by chance.
By comparing the similarities and differences in DNA.
Except they're not, Kent. Once again, it's chemicals doing what chemicals do.
In proteins.
And hell, the fact that they bunch up the way they do. Like you ever think about headphones with cords? They would tangle up in your pocket. Or if you drop a string, it's never just lying out straight. It's always coiled up and stuff, because that's the lowest energy state. That's the state it tries to get to is the most relaxed state. That happens with chemistry as well, with these kinds of chemical compounds. They're going to bunch up like that, and the big, nice bunches that they form up in, we call chromosomes. It's really elegant, really organized system. But again, it's a case of emergent complexity. Simple processes scaled up, multiplied, added to create something complicated.
Sequences.
That's proof the same guy wrote the code. Maybe there's a line of code required to get your hand to close around something. Maybe the chimpanzees and humans have those same 10,000 lines of code because.
No, Kent, that's not how it works at all. The structures that allow you to do that are coded for insofar as the way we describe protein synthesis. But the fact that if all the compounds get expressed correctly and the genes do their things right, the structure gets formed. There's no code making it be a hand as we think of a hand. It's just that's the way it's built. And so with the tendons, with the bones, with the skin, with the ligaments, the nervous system to control everything, it winds up working that way. That's why if a part of that fails, you get a hand that's missing those parts, missing that element. Because that's what the proteins are going to try to do. And you take away the protein, you miss that part, and there you go. It's not that hard of a concept, Kent. It's really not. Sorry, I'm staring right at his face and just thinking he looks so punchable right now. He is aging terribly. Like he is going super downhill every single day. It's pretty terrifying. While Creaky looks great.
Because we do the same thing with our hands. How many Microsoft programs are there, brother? I only use Word and PowerPoint. Huh? Bunch of them. I bet if I go to spell check in PowerPoint, it takes me to the same lines of code Then I go to spell check in Word. Same guy wrote the code. You don't get it.
Yeah, because I mean, as certain cells develop, they're going to be set to do different things. Skin cells don't just decide, oh, I'm going to reproduce into a piece of muscle tissue. Even though the DNA contains the genetic material to create that. It's always very specialized through processes that I'm not totally familiar with, which is fine. I don't need to study it that deep. I know that it works. Was it the Hox genes that decided that's? I know those are supposed to be involved in deciding that stuff. I didn't know if they were the key factor that tells any given thing what to quote unquote become. But the embryonic development goes on a template that is inside of the genetic material and is expressed a certain way. Express this many cells of this, and then boom, express that many of that. It is complicated, but that complexity is an emergent property of it being an emergent property. It's not anything to do with being created, because again, if everything was created, it would be simple. Because simplicity is the hallmark of design.
The DNA code might be similar from different animals because the same author wrote the code. Okay, Creepy talks more here.
Embryology? The fact that
I cannot believe you're done.
Also, Microsoft developers have people involved with Microsoft apparently who wrote some of that stuff, like verified, like it's known who wrote stuff, and yeah, a lot of people are different. There's a lot of differences in said code, and they look the same by happenstance because that's what the end result was engineered to be. Because they had to follow design guidelines as opposed to what he thinks went on.
Dumb enough to use that as evidence for evolution. Maybe we should start off tomorrow night debunking this one. I've debunked it about 50 times on here. Creepy. You guys go through this same script every time.
Yeah, and then, so you see how we're 27 minutes into Kent's video today. Kent spent about 30 yesterday just on embryology. Just doing this same rant on that. I almost don't want to do a video including that, but I feel I have to for the pure context and the fact that he just goes so batshit. So I'm not gonna lie. When I do that tomorrow, because that's gonna happen tomorrow. Don't know when I'm gonna stream that, but that one's gonna happen tomorrow. I probably honestly won't say much for the duration of that rant. Might hang out in the chat a bit, but I think I'm just gonna let the rant play so you can see how truly unhinged it is, with like a little disclaimer at the bottom saying, "Hey, this is a completely unhinged rant. I'm just showing it in its entirety because Kent is mental."
We got so much evidence from archaeology and anthropology and geology and embryology. It's just a script you go through. None of them are evidence for evolution. We'll pick up here tomorrow.
Yeah, that true too on its own face is just that, like, we know multiple different people are writing, programs. Look at the dev list for just the Linux kernel. It's no longer just Linus Torvalds. Which, yes, it should be pronounced something like Linux, if memory serves, because it's Linus Torvalds. Is he Swedish? I think he is. Finnish. Oof. Big oof. I've just upset Deviant and Soot. Ooh. Oh, he's from Finland. I like Finland, though. I like stuff that comes from Finland. I like stuff that comes from Sweden. I like stuff that comes from Norway. I need to be up there in Northern Europe is where I need to be. That's where I need to be. Just need the money to get over there. If you would like to donate to the Caruso Tomato Moves to a Scandinavia Fund, stick around. Got a few debts I have to settle here in the United States first. But let's finish up with Hovind.
Tomorrow night with Creepy Blind Man giving evidence for evolution from embryology. Creepy, that chart you're using right there is the same chart Ernst Haeckel made in 18.
No, that's not Ernst Haeckel's chart. That is a fundamentally different chart. It's not the same one, Kent. And again, you acknowledge that photos taken of the embryos will have these resemblant similarities. So when you argue against this, you're not making any kind of point because you've already conceded the point. Man, if that dino lamp wasn't on, I'd be super pissed right now. But the dino lamp makes me smile now that it's turned on constantly instead of being off all the time. I thought about this at work. I'm not saying anyone needs to go do it, but if anyone actually identifies that dino lamp, finds it exactly on Temu or Walmart.com or IKEA.com or where the hell ever it came from, fucking rednexrus.net.org, .fuckwit.com, you know, I totally would accept that as a possible gift for when I finally show my stupid face in live streams. To just have the dino lamp back there as a reciprocation. Or maybe when they do the estate sale, when Kent finally kicks the bucket and they realize no one can keep DAL up, maybe we can snag that exact lamp and I can have it on my computer desk. And then have to turn it off because it's going to cause noise when I play guitar. I know it's not, fluorescent or anything, but it's still going to be noisy. Thing's probably still got a ton of mercury and lead in it, but that's besides the point. Yeah, dino lamp. I totally kind of want one. Actually, I kind of like it. But still.
69.
Nice. I just press play. 69. Thank you, Kent.
Was proven wrong in 1874. I'll show you tomorrow night. You're, let's see, 150 years behind the time, son. It's time to read a book or two. Hey, well, watch my videos. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. You can sit right here. We'll debate the whole time. I'll prove you're wrong. Okay, any questions or comments real quick, brother? Couple comments. Creepy.
Yeah, you suck. Creepy and his friends are wimpy. None of his followers or him have the courage to debate you in person or publicly. Jeff Hayes. Jeff. Debates don't mean what you think they mean. They don't mean what Kent thinks they are. They're worthless. He's worthless. And you're worthless.
And his fans are wimpy. None of his followers or him have the courage to debate you. I know. Why not? Jeff, call him up. Say, look, come on, bring it on.
I'd like to see you two, you and him, this guy together.
Lost World Museum, you go, Kent. Go where? Go to bed soon. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Hovind watching Creepy, watching Hovind, watching Adam. Part 2. I guess we got to do part 3 tomorrow night, brother. Just get a little bit. Then we'll have more questions, comments, and stuff like that. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. It's free. What else do you want? Let's see. How did you like it today? You took the outside tour, the farm tour. You take the science center tour, the playground. You didn't get all the science center? Okay. There's a lot to see around here. Take a couple of days. And the Noah's Ark coming soon. You guys hurry up. By the way, we need a carpenter. Come down for a week. Help us hang all the drywall tape.
Otaku X, thank you. First Amazon result for neon dinosaur lamp. Hell yeah. Also, that is totally not neon because 1, we know it's LEDs, and 2, neon glows red. Each of the noble gases, when energized and going into a plasmatic state, because they're inert, once you get them to a plasma state, they emit light on particular spectra. So yeah. I hate when everyone just calls anything that glows neon. I'm not saying you did it. I'm just saying, that's a thing. And I'm just like, ambushed. I'm going to see about that tomorrow. Get with me on your time, your schedule for stuff. We might want to tag team something. That'd be fun. I hadn't done anything cool in a while, and we certainly hadn't teamed up on anything. The glorious slam on Kent's ego. Yeah, it was incredible because you could see him. You could seriously see Kent going nuts. Like as it went, he's like, hold up. It's just I should have been looking at the chat during that, but I was too busy just appreciating the moment. 199 super chat. Now we'll take over DAL, but with real science. Real science, Hovind. The full description does say LED, but it still describes as neon. Yeah, because neon's going to be the one everyone searches for. That's what everyone thinks of when they think illuminated sign. They think neon sign. And I've got something to show y'all after we get done with this, because I happen to be exposed to a neon sign today historically that is fucking mental and metal as hell. So y'all are going to get some bonus weird stuff from me here in just a second. Let's finish up Hovind.
Tape it and seam it and trim everything out. We're going to move into that no-way cook, full-time cook here. If you want, our cook Kevin is really good, but we need him in landscaping. He's really good at that too. So I want somebody to take over the cooking. So coming down, join our crew here. You got to be independent, temperamental, fundamental right-wing radical Baptist. No smoking, no drinking, no alcohol, no drugs of any kind. Have a clean record. Any problems, we kick you out. We don't want that here. We're not a reform school. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Go to hell, Kent. Go directly to hell. Now let me see if I can actually find the get the damn pictures to show up. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. Okay, so all right, so we're switching to this tab. All right, so y'all might be wondering what the hell you're looking at. This, and I just learned of this today while I was listening to some stuff while I was working in the back at work. This is a railroad crossing sign that was built late 30s, began to be in use in 1940, called the Billups Neon Crossing Sign. The story goes, the guy, Alonzo Billups or something to that effect, got upset by the number of deaths that happened at this crossing in Grenada, Mississippi. And so this actual perspective we're at is looking north. So it's north outside of the city. I know because I've been, like, when I got home, this was actually something I kind of dived into a bit, and on lunch I was diving into it. Those three little stones there still exist, by the way. This side's gone. So this thing, you'll notice it doesn't have any gate or anything, which is common for North American railroad crossings and the like. What it did have, though, is the stop, death, stop, with the skull and crossbones up here, a neon outline. These arrows that would glow in the direction that the train was going. So if it glowed to the left, the train would be coming from the right to the left. Or in this case, from the east to the west. And vice versa, if the right was glowing, it would be heading to the right. It had these classic lights to go stuff. The stop, death, stop would illuminate. Apparently it flashed red and blue. I don't know if it all alternated or if these guys were, like, the two dashes that happened to be blue. You can see a lamp up here that would illuminate the skull. So this was some hardcore shit. Here's the craziest thing about it. Over here on the left, I know y'all can't see the mouse cursor, and I hate that, but you'll see this little bit that's not on the right-hand side, up at the middle of the gantry, underneath the stop, death, stop. On the left is a goddamn air raid siren. That would fire off when a train came through. Problem is, World War II happened, and neon became a scarce commodity. So Billups couldn't get this pushed as a thing for other places. So it stayed this one prototype, which sat around till apparently the late 60s, early 70s, when it was finally demolished not long after Billups died, but he kept it going. The problem is, it kept breaking down, namely the stop mechanism for the siren. Supposedly, every day by the tail end of it, after a train came by, someone would have to go and manually stop the freaking siren on it. It's nuts. This isn't the only photo we have of it. We only have a couple, but the other one I want to show is this apparently circa 60s color photo showing it illuminating. There's the air raid siren mechanism. There it is glowing a bit, and there you can see the left arrow illuminated with the train heading that way. I can't believe I only just learned of this today, because this is totally the kind of crazy crap that, one, were I wealthy enough back in the day, I would have come up with, and two, is totally up my alley. And regardless of if this thing like interests you in the way it interests me or not, that is the most fucking metal thing I have ever seen. Like, that looks like a parody that someone would put in, like, Metalocalypse. But this was a real thing in Grenada, Mississippi. You can go to the spot it was at and see down. Let me go down. Down here at the bottom, these 3 stone sections are still there. So you know exactly where it was. I just think it's the coolest fucking thing that I've learned about in a while. So while that sits there, I'm going to check out your shines. Got to go back and read the chat. Yep. Ambushed saying, heard that. Figure it out. Sunday afternoon, evening works best. Nail down the collab. Bring those back. That's incredible. We need to bring this thing back. Just came in. Are we looking at the new Welcome Gate to Dinosaur Adventureland? No. Although that would totally be it. Not ominous enough. Glow in the dark warnings. The sign is real Mad Max shit. Glad air raid sirens didn't become standard, maybe a quarter of a mile. Yeah, that sign is absolutely fucking incredible. Lionel Trains makes a replica of it for your sets. Now, I don't have train sets. I don't have the space. I don't have the money. I think they're pretty freaking neat. Oh man, I almost want to get that just to have that on my desk. That is so freaking cool. Here's a fun fact for you. While there are standards for railroad crossings, there's not as much in the way of requirements as you'd think for how they can be and what they need to be. Incidentally enough, the current crossing is just 2 typical crossing markers alerting you, hey, there's a train. This is a level crossing here. No stop bars, no nothing. So ostensibly, it's more dangerous now than it was then, except for the fact that now that line is a short haul line used for specialty stuff, as opposed to a main thoroughfare, like their main thoroughfare, a main like Amtrak line or something. It used to be a big deal until some railroad changes happened. I think trains are cool. I'm not super obsessed, but this thing just had to be shared since we were bringing up neon earlier. Once saw a video of Lemmy Kilmister using a welder. I would argue other things are clearly more metal. Well, again, that's a person using a thing. This is just a thing. And this is just the most, one of the most metal things. Definitely the most metal railroad crossing. Get the replica and set it next to the dyno lamp. Seriously. Just have it over the doors when you stream. Yeah. Good D&D prop, even if you don't do trains. Yeah, it's just super awesome no matter how you look at it. And if we go back to the older photo, I mean, it's just, imagine that imagine living next to that. Imagine seeing that every day. Apparently the locals just referred to it as a skull and crossbones, but that just being a normal feature. I mean, people act like, in the 80s and 90s things got weird, but people in the freaking 30s and 40s were wild. I mean, this is crazy in the best of ways. But it doesn't exist anymore. It fell into disrepair and was demolished. So it just is what it is. There's no video of it, no film that's known anyway, which is amazing that nobody, bothered to take a camera and film this thing, even in the 60s, like even for posterity at the tail end. So there's some simulations, but they're considered iffy at best, mainly because like the siren's wrong. The air raid siren nerds, which are a weird group of people, but I appreciate them. They have corrected on what model it would have to have been. So they know that the sound's going to be this way and this is going to be that and this way, and we don't know details on how everything worked, but we have enough, especially from photo 2, that we know this definitely existed. It definitely worked. And honestly, this reminds me of another dark bit of history that I won't go into here. I may make a stream on it. But Haunted Castle Fire is all you need to know. The Skull and Crossbones really reminds me of that, and the Haunted Castle Fire is a very tragic story in its own right. But yeah, I might work the themology of that crossing into some of my stuff, though. Yeah, I if I had the money, that's one of those things. If I just had money to blow, I would just rebuild that just for the hell of it. I think it'd be so cool. I would hate that siren so much. Yeah. And imagine during World War II having that every time a train went by. That had to be on everybody's nerves. Kent fell into disrepair years ago. Why is he still around? Because demolishing people who have become obsolete is not something we do, because this isn't the Twilight Zone, sadly. Dude, that's when people used to make cigarette with asbestos spaghetti and shit. It was the Leave It to Beaver Wild West. It's got that asbestos filter, which is fine until it disintegrates. You bite down on it and game over, baby. Arrow is lit for the train direction. Yeah, for the direction the train is going. Safety regulations today exist because people from that time were ground into a paste in a multitude of ways. Yeah. What's the saying? Safety regulations are written in blood, something like that. Like every single safety rule out there, if it's not explicitly because somebody got hurt, it's because someone knows good and damn well someone can and will get hurt. Hell, I almost fell off a ladder at work today because I didn't step properly. Glad nothing happened. It was a short ladder. But I'm like, shit, I need to be more careful. I should probably, not let go of the ladder before I'm certain I'm off of it. But, I'm an idiot. Ever seen those magazine recipes from the 50s? Wild shit. I have not. That'd be some stuff to look into. I've also thought about looking into old video game magazines because there's a lot of archives online, just as a side thing, completely unrelated to all this crazy stuff. But yeah, that was the stream. Pretty random one. I oof, had hiccups. I am so super glad though that everyone did come hang out. Always a fun time. I'm probably gonna do my usual, play some Guild Wars, then go to sleep, then wake up, realize it's Saturday, get excited because I don't have to go to work, then be sad because I'm not a kid anymore and Saturday morning cartoons stopped being a thing. Uh, that actually happens on occasion. I'm like, oh, I want to enjoy Saturday again like I used to. But whatever. That's life. That's getting older. I don't really have anything else to say. Again, I appreciate everyone being here. Hovind is fucking wild. I'm glad we covered part 2 of that. This may be a completely disorganized stream, but whatever. We did what we needed to do. And if anyone watching after the fact doesn't like it, oh well, they're not here at this point, so they missed the kick-ass sign. That's just oh god damn it. Phrasing. Gotta work on that phrasing. Ooh, this is an important one. Gotta listen to safety rules. I used to work security at a scrapyard. Guy didn't lock out, tag out. The shredder got his arm. Oof. Oh, that sucks so hard. Yeah. Yeah. For the love of all that is holy, if you work around any kind of power equipment and for whatever reason it's not working right, make sure someone properly has done a lockout tag out on it, that the repair request is made, and that nobody touches it. Don't go near it. Just treat it like the damn thing's made of explodium. And it's radioactive. And breathing near it gives you Ebola AIDS. it's just there's a level of respect I have for machine. I'll do stupid stuff. There's a certain level of respect I'll have for some types of machinery where I'm just like, okay, we're not doing this. But yeah, the theater in my city that has unlimited cereal buffet and cartoon Saturday morning kick ass. Hovind is a bucket of AIDS. That'll never change. Is he streaming tonight? Yeah, I'm sure he is. Because he's supposed to do his little thing. Actually, that should have started by now. In fact, Rumble. Rumble. Wait, I need Kent Hovind. Rumble.com, Kent Hovind official. Yeah, he's streaming. He is streaming.
That's my answer. Go ahead. Continue.
That is grasping for straws, I believe. You're going to have
Pluto Pilot on there.
in sandstone, the alien sandstone, you're going to look at the
alien sandstone was brought up in the chat by you guys earlier. Oh, that was great. Oh my God, you're not even seeing it. Oh no. Sorry.
the angle of it. You're not going to. It's basically a sand dune.
I
Okay.
understand.
And not only that, the angle is going to be, above, 33 degrees or what have you.
Sure.
And so forth. You're not going to get that in sandstone formed in water. But it
Well,
also
you
has.
slow down. Stop. Just a minute. Yes, you can. One topic at a time. Yes, you can. If the crust of the earth is flexing around during the flood, some places might have hardened enough that they could stand up vertically. There are vertical layers.
I don't need to hear Kent talking about anything getting hard and vertical. I ain't into that. All right, Kent. And yeah, there's some pretty wild industrial fail stories out there. I hate to say fail and almost turn a meme into somebody's tragedy. I don't intend to do it that way. I just mean that it is legitimately a failure to follow procedure that resulted in an absolute tragedy. So always exercise caution. Always. Yeah. On that dark note, I will leave you again with our favorite sign. All right, I have to now click the I have to click this Alt DV, and there we go. There it is. There's our favorite sign. Should that be like the new background when I do like a normal video or something? That might be fun. Just take that. Actually, I'm probably going to take some of these pictures and run them through some AI upscalers or some improvements and just see what I can extract from them, make something cool. It's not going to be too valuable, but I'll do what I can for the community. But yeah, that's it. We've been going for almost 2 hours. I didn't expect to go this long. Y'all are awesome as always. Gonna hop off here and enjoy my night. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Much love.